Folks, we're at 10 o'clock. We're about to call this meeting to order. If everybody will. Good morning, and I will call the meeting to order for the Dissolution Committee for the former Board of Dallas County Schools Trustees. We do have a quorum present this morning. Appreciate everyone being here. If you would please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance to our flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Again, appreciate all the members' attendance. Appreciate you being here. I know some of you are also subbing in. Do we have anyone here today that we need to issue an oath for? I think everyone has taken the oath. Is that correct? So we're good on the oath of office for our district appointees. We'll move to action items. Action item 4A is consider approval of our minutes for the meeting held January 22nd, 2018. Comments, discussion?
Move approval.
Dr. Hinojosa has moved approval of minutes.
Second.
Got a second here and a second there by Mr. Brodnex and by Dr. Parham. Any other thoughts, comments?
Just a couple
Yes, sir.
changes.
Yes, sir.
My name is misspelled in here. It's T.
Well, let's get it spelled correctly then. Okay, did you-
Not TD.
Okay, did we catch that? We got a misspelling of the city manager's name. Ms. Brodnex, if you'd check the minutes on that. Number three.
And C. With me abstaining.
We'll get that corrected in the minutes. Any other corrections? If not, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Minutes are approved. Action item 4B is consider approval of the sale of the Samuel property. Mr. King.
Senate Bill 1566 gives Dallas ISD the right of refusal or option to buy the admin building that we're in now at fair market value. We had the building appraised. We have an offer from Dallas ISD at $6,120,000, which is a little over our appraisal. I'd recommend that we accept this offer, and the agreement that I put out today is a little bit different. It's one that we requested to have a special warranty deed instead of a general warranty deed. Dallas agreed to do that, so we've got that contract in here, which is different than I sent out on Friday. So I'd recommend approval of this offer, $6.1 million.
Okay, a recommendation's been made. I'd like to note for the record that Dr. Hinojosa has stepped away while we discuss this item and for any action. Any questions, comments? Yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman, so, Alan, we then have a kind of a holdover tenant lease for a little bit until we were ready to vacate the building, right?
Yes, sir, we do.
Other questions or comments? This is a pretty significant step, but one that needs to be taken. But want to be sure we've got all questions answered or any other comments. You're satisfied, Mr. King?
Yes, sir, I am.
Okay. Hearing no questions or comments, we have a motion? Yes, sir. Mr. Scott.
So moved.
Mr. Scott moves approval of the sale of the Samuel property.
Second.
Second from Mr. Buchanan and by Ms. Miller. Any other comments? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That sale of that property has been approved, and we'll wait just a moment for Dr. Hinojosa to rejoin us. Members, item 4C is being pulled today. There are some other and continual discussions about that agreement that are taking place. Mr. King, you want to add anything to that?
No, sir.
Okay, I think we're not ready for that item yet, so we will bring that back to the board, but need to pull that item today and move on to item 4D, consider approval of the sale of police vehicles. Again, Mr. King.
This one has a Dallas.
sorry, Dr. Hinojosa. Dr. Hinojosa also involved here, and also Mr. City, so they're stepping away from the dais during this discussion. Mr. King?
Yes, sir, we had 13 police cars that we needed to sell, so we offered them to our component districts with a minimum bid, and we received bids on 7 vehicles, 5 Dallas, 1 Cedar Hill, 1 Toledo. 6 we did not receive bids on, and what we're requesting you to do today is approve the bids we've received from the 7 component districts. The remaining 6, I'm going to put on govdeals.com and sell those on govdeals.com. Now, once I put them on govdeals.com, they won't come back to the board because we'll take the highest bid. And that's what we'd like for your approval today, is to sell these 7 vehicles to our component districts, and the other 6 we're going to sell on govdeals.com. We'll put the proceeds in a special escrow account as required for distribution later by the committee. The proceeds will be distributed later by the committee.
Members, you've heard the recommendation. Questions? I think we can tell we're in the business now of disposing of things, which is to be expected given our function. Any questions or comments? Okay, I don't hear any. The recommendation's been made to approve the sale of police vehicles. Is there a motion?
I motion.
Mr. Ringo's made the motion.
Second?
Mr. Dransfield has given us a second. All in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That recommendation is approved unanimously for the approval of the sale of the police vehicles. Moving on to action item 4E. Members, that's consider approval of scheduled meetings. I had asked Mr. King to go ahead and just give us a calendar and just go ahead and stay on our second and fourth Thursday, not knowing how many of these meetings we're going to need, not knowing whether we might be able to cancel some. As we begin to wind down, we may be able to cancel some meetings. Again, that's going to depend upon the business that we need to conduct and what, if there are other steps to take. But I think for now it would be good just to save some dates and have those on your calendar. I did not ask him to schedule a meeting for the last, or for the 4th Monday in July, anticipating if we're not pretty close to completing our work by then, some of you are going to want to serve a much longer term. But in any event, that was my suggestion to him. He has put that on the agenda. Any comments you want to make?
No, sir, this calendar looks good for us.
I would, I think that would at least give us all a sense of dates that we should hold. But again, if we don't need to have a meeting, I'll promise you we won't have a meeting. But as long as there are some things we need to be discussing with Mr. King or with attorneys, then we'll probably need to be here. Any questions? Oh, Derek? Michael, didn't we get action taken on the police vehicles?
Yeah.
Come on back, sorry.
It's wishful thinking.
Sorry, yeah. We got that done and we were moving on. We don't want to, I do appreciate everyone's sensitivity to any potential conflicts, and appreciate the steps that have been taken to make sure that we're all very careful in that area. For those of you rejoining us, we were talking about the scheduled meetings. I mentioned that I had asked Mr. King just go ahead and set a calendar to use the 2nd and 4th Mondays we're not meeting in March on the 2nd Monday. I believe that's correct because many of you have spring break. But for March, April and May, for April, May, and June, I had asked him to go ahead and set the schedule for the 2nd and 4th Monday, and then July to use the 2nd Monday in hopes that we are nearing winding down business by that time. Hope that makes some sense.
I would say that I didn't have one scheduled for the 2nd meeting in May because that was on Memorial Day.
Okay.
So we have one meeting scheduled in May.
we'll plan to just have one meeting in May unless you tell us you need us before the second Monday in June.
Very good.
Okay? Any questions or comments? Hope that at least helps everybody in some calendar planning. Could I get a motion? Since it's an action item.
So moved.
Matt, thank you. Mr. Bowles has made a motion for approval.
Second.
Second from Ms. Miller and Mr. Buchanan. All in favor, would you please say aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, we've got meetings scheduled and with the notation that Mr. King made and that we've made, hope we can conduct our business by that time. Do you have anything else before we go to closed session?
No, sir.
Okay. Executive session will be held for purposes permitted by the Texas Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code, Section 551.001, including but not limited to Sections 551.071, consultation with attorney, 551.072, real property, 551.074, personnel matters. We are moving into closed session rather quickly this morning. It looks like at 10:10. Did you want me to call on you? Well, okay. Okay. Yeah, I know Matt left. Is everybody back here? I think we got everybody back.
Yes, sure.
He left. We're back in open session at 11:20 a.m. The board has conducted its business. We have no action to take as a result of closed session today. Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Got a motion?
Second.
Second. I think it's unanimous. We stand adjourned.
I want that discussion.
You know,
Thanks, sir.